Guys, the new reality for me is keeping the logs off of the legs of the roof. So because of that, I had to cut them shorter, and like this log right in front is proving what I'm up against, because I mean, yeah, it's up in the air now, but this is how it is sitting off the table, and this is about as long as this log can get to keep the balance from this log tipping off. And then you'll see these logs as they come down the table, how short I've had to cut them. It's not the end of the world. It just adds an extra step to my process, and it increases my chance of waste because I have to strategically cut these logs in half so that I can get perfect 16-inch pieces on one end of it, and then the other end might have the offcut. And the final thing is, I'm gonna probably wind up with less wood in the trailer when I'm done with a run, because I have to cut them shorter. What I could do is just load more logs onto the table in the middle of a run, but I like to try to have this all done in one setting. But let's run these logs. Let's see how much wood that I can get off of one table now. And let's also watch how I'm able to clear these logs on the legs of the roof. All right, let's get this thing fired up and let's go. This engine bogged down. I have the pressure set too high on the chain. I can turn the pressure down, and that allows the saw to cut better. This is a bigger problem until the machine warms up. This is going to be the tough one, guys. We have this bigger gap now, and a shorter log. You got to really watch it. It can fall off and smash these lines. Okay, that last log, the real long one, you know, it depends on how big the butt end of that log is, and that the more weight on this side, the longer you can have it over here. But that was about the max. So now the new reality, I think, is mostly going to be logs this length. They're more manageable. I got a lot more space between it and the frame, so I'm not going to run into it. Because, man, sometimes these logs will go crooked and you're not paying attention. So let's watch these next feed. The challenge, guys, is between here, the valley, because I would like this table to sit even farther away to help me with extra space, but I can't because my hydraulic lines are too short. I'm trying to get new ones. So this is my challenge, and let's just see how it works. So this log is a perfect example. It's too tippy, it's laying on the tip bar, and it's too much drag and it's not wanting to feed. Now I can handle this one because it's such a skinny log, but you get those bigger logs harder to muscle with, and this is where your problems start. Let's see how I can get this one to feed. let's see how it feeds, and then I'll show it. We'll see how it splits up on the perfect split. Here we go. Uh-oh, it stalled, man. This might be our very first jam in the history of the Japa 405. Let me get it fired back up and let's see what happens. This is what was inside of it. How about that, guys? You saw the 405 stall. I was trying to hit the trigger because it was trying to push that beach through. I hit the trigger to stop it, but I hit the wrong one. And that's why it kept pushing through and it stalled. I might have been able to stop that. That's the first time that's ever happened, but did you happen to notice it still had the power to get that beach pushed through there? That was a pretty good sized beach, but it had a lot of knots in it. So this is the yield of that table of logs. Probably not as big as what I normally get. I'll have that front pile all the way up to the conveyor, but we did get some spillage here. And that is the challenge now with this live deck. Did you see that shorter one? And that's the one you have to pay attention to when it gets on the table. There's too much here, it'll tip off and tip off this way. The other ones that are real short too is they'll fall off over on this side and squirt down into that valley on the live deck. The other thing, people had said that maybe I should put a board in here to prevent the logs from catching on this. I think that makes sense, but I just like to be in through this area because I think you're always wanting to muscle one of these logs. There's always one that just gives you trouble and you can mess with it just by walking through here. So I want to leave this open for me right now. In my assessment, this wasn't as bad as I thought, and it makes me feel confident to when I do get my longer lines, I can move the live deck away even farther. and let's see how that goes. This video, I was hoping to show you the challenges now that I'm going to face with the live deck and my process of getting these logs cut. And hey, you got bonus footage. You watched the 405 finally have trouble with one log. I have yet to have a jam with this machine. I think we're around 170-ish hours on it. Not a single jam, but you did finally see it stall, but it still had the power to go through it once I got it started back up. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about this guy. And let me know what you think about my new process here. And we'll try to get all this figured out together. All right, I hope everyone has a great day.